Alright guys, in this video we'll be talking about Arik Gilbert's college football journey, and more specifically, the fact that he's been at 3 different schools in the past 3 years. We'll be doing this chronologically, and I'll just be sharing some of my thoughts on his situation, so I hope you all enjoy. Before we get into the video, remember to share and like it if you enjoy, as that helps the channel to grow. Now let's get into it. Alright, so I'm sure most of y'all watching this video already know who Arik Gilbert is, but in case you don't, he attended Marietta High School in Georgia. He was a 5-star recruit, like #1 tight end in his class. He was there from 2016 to 2020. At Marietta, his entire high school career, he had 247 catches for 3,640 yards and 36 receiving touchdowns. His senior year, which was his best year, he had 105 receptions for 1,860 yards and 15 touchdowns. In that year, 2020, he was the Gatorade Male Athlete of the Year, and as I said before, the #1 tight end in the country, and the #5 overall player in the country. So basically, he was a very highly touted recruit. His top 5 schools were Alabama, LSU, Georgia, Texas A&M, and Clemson. He ended up committing to LSU in October of 2019. During his freshman season at LSU, he only played in 8 games and had 35 receptions for 368 yards and 2 touchdowns. After that 8th game, he decided to opt out of the rest of the season and then enter the transfer portal after the season ended. His main reason for leaving is that he got homesick, which I guess is a good reason, because like, how are you going to argue with that? So he enters the transfer portal, and about a month after he enters, he decides to transfer to the University of Florida, but he doesn't enroll at Florida. And then after that, he enters the transfer portal again and then decides to go to Georgia. When this happened, you can kind of connect the reason for transferring in the first place, which was that he was homesick. He transferred to Georgia because his family lived there, and that's where he went to high school, so it was close to home. So he goes to Georgia, enrolls, and is currently in his sophomore season right now. However, even though he's enrolled at Georgia, he has left the team due to personal issues, and it's unclear when he'll be back, but hopefully it's soon. The only person who I can find who spoke on this was Georgia head coach Kirby Smart, who didn't expand on what the personal issues are, but I'm guessing they're pretty serious if Arik has decided to leave the team altogether. So obviously, Arik's football career has not gone as planned thus far, but let's break it down. So starting with high school, he's a 5-star recruit, the #5 player in the entire country. He goes through a long recruiting process in which he picks LSU. So he goes to Baton Rouge, and throughout summer workouts, fall workouts, and the 8 games that he played, he's building relationships with all of his coaches and teammates and classmates. And then after the season, he decides to leave all of that behind because he's homesick. See, most people just read a headline that Arik Gilbert is transferred and doesn't think much of it, but when you really think about it, he's leaving his teammates, his coaches, and the program who he had committed to. And to that I would say, he can do what he wants if he feels it's best for him, but for him to leave a university at which he started every game he played in as a true freshman, he must have been pretty homesick. Now, after a brief stop in Gainesville, Arik has ended up at Georgia and has now left the football team due to personal issues. Now, I'm not going to speak on these issues because I don't know what they are, and it could be worse than much of us think. The point that I'm trying to get across is that Arik's homesick excuse will only work for so long. Think about the NFL. Is he going to leave the team that drafts him unless it's the Atlanta Falcons? It's not like him being away from home affected his play drastically. In his 8 games during his freshman year at LSU, he had 368 yards and 2 touchdowns, which isn't amazing, but those are solid numbers for a true freshman in the SEC. So if he gets drafted to, say, the Detroit Lions, he'll probably be able to play good football, but the question is, will he be mentally healthy and not struggle to be away from home? In conclusion, even though Arik Gilbert's college journey has not gone as planned, he still has a chance to make something great of it. He's only a sophomore and has at least 2 more years of eligibility. Georgia's playing really good at the time of me making this video, and if he can get to the point where he's a standout player on a national championship caliber team, he'll definitely get the recognition needed to build his draft stock. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for today. Remember, if you like this video, please sub to my channel and share the video as that helps the channel to grow. Besides that, until next time.